You're listening to Optional Opinions, the only podcast made by average dudes for average Joes. So quit listening, Millie. That's my dog's name. She's not allowed to listen.
Get wrecked,
Dang.
Millie.
My dog wouldn't listen anyway, so.
Rosie's such a good listener.
Oh. Okay, yeah, she is a good listener, but she's not a good obeyer.
That's true.
Cassie and I took Prairie to like a doggy trainer thing. They say like have like a single word that they associate with treats that they call them BTS treats, and that stands for better than sex treats.
Oh.
And so essentially we just use the word here. And whenever we say that, just in the house, like we'll do it randomly for her, she will like get chicken baby food.
Cool.
Anyways.
Just that sounds exactly like how you might train a dragon. Because we're talking about the House of Dragon.
Wait, not How to Train Your Dragon?
Not How to Train Your Dragon. Just
Guys, I watched the wrong thing.
Wait, no, it's funny you say that because when I pull up the episode and I start watching it, like right off the bat, April asked me, "Is this like How to Train Your Dragon?" And I'm like, "No, not at all." And then it's like the opening shot; it's them flying a dragon through the clouds, and she's like, "It looks like it." It's like, well, yeah, you're not wrong.
Who did it better?
Loosely based,
right?
I think. Well, it depends on what you mean by it.
I don't know. We don't have to answer that. What did you guys think? First episode, non-spoiler reviews. Yeah, in case you haven't figured it out, we're here to talk about House of the Dragon, episode 1.
It'd be pretty bad if they made it this far. I mean, isn't it like the name of the title of the episode?
No, it's going to be How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, well.
Yeah. We totally understand. Yeah.
You're validated.
I mean, I thought it was good. I liked it a lot. Kenzie's a show rewatcher, and I am a new show. Like, I want to see the new show, the new thing. I don't want to watch something that I've already watched. And Kenzie's been like, we should watch Game of Thrones. We should rewatch Game of Thrones. And I keep being like, no, there's so much other stuff to watch that I want to watch that like we just don't have time to devote to the however many 100 hours the Game of Thrones is. And watching this, I'm definitely still not going to rewatch Game of Thrones, but it made me remember like, oh yeah, that show was very good. And like this feels like that show.
Yeah, I will say they definitely got the feel right because I just kept waiting for Jon Snow to pop up. I don't know if anyone else felt that. But you should do what Cassie and I are doing. Instead of rewatching Game of Thrones, you could just listen to the audiobooks with Kinsey.
Yeah. So instead of the 100 hours of TV, just, the tens of hours of audiobooks with all of our extra audiobook time.
Yeah. I will say the books are much better than the show.
I'm sure.
Wow, much better.
Okay, let me clarify. I am past season 4 of Game of Thrones where they really started deviating. And so that is much better. It was pretty much, I mean, it wasn't a 1-for-1 for the first 4 seasons, but they did a really good job. But the books are pretty great. Related, but not what we're here to talk about. So Davis enjoyed it. What would you rate it out of 10?
I give it an 8.8.
Nice. That's solid.
Yeah, that's just kind of my didn't think about it super hard. This is just kind of what feels right. I think it was pretty. I obviously liked it. I think it was really good.
How was your expectations going in? Did you realize that it was coming out last weekend? Because it was like the weekend. I was like, oh, this is coming out tomorrow. Like,
it kind of snuck up on me. I just kind of was sitting there, like, I knew that it was going to come out eventually. I think I saw on like Instagram or something. Like, oh yeah, that's this weekend. And I'm actually kind of doing the same thing with the Lord of the Rings series that Amazon is going to put out. I don't know when that's supposed to come out.
Comes out next week.
Oh, okay. But I've kind of like, I haven't watched really any of the trailers. I haven't, I think
much.
Yeah, I haven't really watched much of the trailers or anything because I'm kind of like, I don't want to get super into it. And at the same time, for this one, I was a little like, I don't know. It's it's a prequel, so I don't know if it'll be amazing, and especially, now I didn't have as big of a problem as people did with season 8 of Game of Thrones, because people absolutely hated that, and like I didn't love it, but I didn't think it was awful. So it's not that I was like, I wasn't super excited to see something from them again, because there wasn't, because it's not like I'd left with not a terrible taste in my mouth, but it wasn't great. So I wouldn't say I was like anxiously anticipating this release, but I am now pleasantly surprised and will definitely be watching each week.
So to piggyback off of that, I don't think anyone really left the show with a great taste in their mouth. But there was also a lot of people talking about, like, just online from what I've seen in forums, like wanting more content, but they waited like how many years? Like it was a decent amount of time before they did any other Game of Thrones content, right? So like 3 or 4 years.
The last, well,
do you think they were trying to distance themselves from that to like let enough time pass so that way they could have like almost a clean slate?
Maybe. I know I heard something about some show that like got a pilot and then was immediately canceled because like people hated it. That was associated with Game of Thrones, but that might be. I haven't confirmed that. I think I heard somebody mention.
I think
it.
I've heard that too. I think I heard that too. That there's some Game of Thrones pilot out there that never got released.
Yeah, I think they spent somewhere around like $2 billion on it, on just the pilot.
No,
maybe not $2 billion.
way.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm
It was 200 million. 200 million.
Which is still a ton of money.
It's still a lot, but not $2 billion. I'm just wrong with all my numbers today, guys. So. But they spent a lot of money on it, and like people are just like, can we at least see it? Like, just throw an ad in there to help make some money back. Let's just see. Give us the pilot.
Yeah, that's kind of like what did they do with? Was it? I think Batgirl. DC recently just like absolutely completely killed, and everybody's like, well, now we want to know what happened.
Yeah, that DC is a whole podcast in and of itself.
It's more Warner Brothers than DC.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's fair. But yeah, Kyle. So what are your thoughts on this first episode?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I think to me, it like, in terms of how it relates to Game of Thrones and how I felt while watching that, it just felt like a straight mid episode of Game of Thrones to me. Is kind of how I felt leaving it. Like, yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it, but like, it doesn't compare to like the really good episodes of Game of Thrones. So, which I wasn't expecting it to. I figured, it's going to take a little bit to heat up. But I thought I need to pull up IMDb. Dragon Lady, what is it?
Princess
Rhaenyra? Yeah.
Rhaenyra.
I thought she killed it. I thought she was incredible in the first episode.
Yeah, she did a really good job. And she actually looks like she could be like the great grandmother of Daenerys. Is that just
Yeah.
me? Like they look close enough. Maybe it's just the hair that they have them have, but like I don't know. They look like they could be related. I thought they did a good job.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, and Matt Smith killed it too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's like I guess I haven't read any of the books, so I don't know whenever he dies, if he does, but it's gonna be a sad day.
Yeah. I do feel like you were onto something where you were saying it was similar to like a mid episode of Game of Thrones. I kept feeling like I was also watching The Crown at the same time because of him.
I felt like I was watching Morbius because of him.
Is he in Morbius?
He is in it.
Oh, all right.
That's not what I actually felt, but it was kind of weird. He looks like an elf to me. Like
Cassie
Yes.
literally kept saying that. She's like, "Where are his pointy ears?" Like,
Yeah.
we're like-
Yeah. April said that too. She's like, "Isn't he in Lord of the Rings?"
Yeah. He did a phenomenal job. So did Emma Darcy. Is that how you say her name? There's a weird
Probably.
apostrophe in there. I don't know how that fits in. But yeah, they both did a phenomenal job. But Kyle, what do you rate it?
I'd probably give it 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It was really good.
Okay. All right.
I think it's only going to get better. I think I don't know. I think they could have done the whole plot thing with the mom and the brother a little bit better.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. I guess in the first episode, you just really don't feel that much of a connection to any really character yet. So it wasn't like it could have been much more emotionally taxing if it was in like episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, I feel like they could have like drawn off of like, even if it wasn't if they wanted it to be in the first episode, they could have done like a season 1 Game of Thrones where like they make you think Ned Stark's going to be the main protagonist.
Yeah.
And focus a lot more on the mom to make her like seem like she's going to be like the main character or something, or like had her more in like some of the promotional stuff and then kill her off in the first episode. I think that would have been, because we just hardly ever saw her.
Right.
And so, yeah, there was like an emotional disconnect. I feel like you were right.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. It was a good episode. I'm excited for the series. And yeah, I don't know. I also really enjoyed the last seasons of Game of Thrones, so it doesn't take much to please me, I suppose.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. It was fine. I don't know if it didn't have the Game of Thrones like name to like back it up. I don't know how interested I would be in the series after watching the first pilot. So I give it like a 7.75, I think, out of 10.
7.5. What type of?
It's like 7 3/4. It's not 7.5. It's not 8. So you just in the middle. You know.
I mean, in
Alright,
fairness,
alright.
I did give it an 8.8. So
I know you guys are funny.
Mine is just as a fraction.
All right, fine. I give it an 8.125. All right.
Ooh,
All right,
okay.
thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you for
Yeah.
specificity. All right. That's what we're looking for.
That is a good point, Brandon. Thinking about it, like, I don't know if the show would stand up quite as well if we knew that we weren't already in the like Game of Thrones universe. So we already are looking for like connections to people from the show. So, I mean, I think I would still be interested in it just because this is like, you know, it's a cool show, but I can understand. I could see how they are kind of, I mean, I don't want to say coasting. Like it's just, it's kind of is what it is, but, it definitely doesn't hurt. Like the reason that this had, the biggest premiere on HBO, I think like 5 million people or something watched it.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
This is it was like the biggest premiere on HBO, which kind of surprises me with, like season 8 or whatever of Game. Like, I feel like that was
Well, do they mean
incredibly
premiere
anticipated.
like the first of its show, like the pilot of a new show, or is it like?
I think so. Like the most
So
people. I
season
guess
8
that's true.
wouldn't qualify.
So yeah, I don't know, and I mean, I don't think it would have been, like I was saying, I don't think it would have been the biggest premiere, like the biggest HBO show, if it wasn't based on one of, or maybe the other biggest HBO show. But I mean, I still think it's good. So, should we talk about spoilers? We already kind of did, but
I mean, we didn't say.
Oh yeah, I definitely spoiled something. I definitely, with the mom dying.
Oh, that's fair.
That's my bad.
All right.
That's
Also,
my bad.
spoiler alert: the brother also dies. So, I mean, besides that, I mean, what else is there to spoil? I mean, like the king gives Emma Darcy his inheritance.
Is it Emma Darcy? Or
I
is
have no
it?
clue.
Or Emma D'Arcy?
No, I think isn't it Millie Alcock?
No.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it is, but
maybe
Oh wait.
young Princess Rhaenyra. Maybe it's her, and then Emma Darcy.
Why is she not higher up in IMDb? I don't understand.
I don't know. Well,
I mean,
this says that Emma Darcy is in 10 episodes. So I don't know. Like, we would have.
The face definitely looks like. Oh wait, you know what?
It might be the younger two, and then maybe next year or next episode we'll see older people.
I think you are right. I think it is Millie. I don't know how to say that.
That's we should rename the show. I don't know how to say that. Davis, you're listening to. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah. Okay. Millie Alcock. So,
why is that funny, Brandon?
Because it has Al in the name.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I don't know who Emma Darcy is. That's interesting.
It's probably in later episodes, like
the
older version.
I guess.
Which I'm kind of bummed if that's true, because I thought Millie killed it. I thought she was
she did a really good
super
job.
charismatic. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, we might see more of her. It seems like, because they're both in. It says they're both in 10 episodes, so it seems like we're gonna see. There's at least gonna be like flashbacks of stuff.
Right. More to come, I suppose. More to come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about the dragons? Like, I know we all like visual effects. No,
I hate visual effects.
Oh, okay. So just Kyle, how did you feel about the dragons? I mean, I felt like they looked really good.
I thought they were great.
It definitely wasn't a letdown or anything.
How to Train Your Dragon did it better. Their CGI was better.
Imagine.
Someone needs to like deep fake Toothless into this show.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
That would be pretty great.
I thought the dragons were epic. I'm excited that they're gonna be like
around.
Yeah, like all the time. That is gonna be like. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Oh yeah, I guess when we say, like I said, I accidentally spilled the beans that the mom died before spoiler warning. I thought it was like so clear that was what was gonna happen. Like I thought it was like,
yeah, you're not wrong.
From the like first few minutes, I'm like, oh, she's dead. Like she's gonna die during childbirth. Like I just knew it. I was like, Because especially like with old times and like, yeah, whenever there's a difficulty about like the decision the dad has to make to, have a C-section or whatever. Maybe I just know that because of Bridgerton, because I've watched Bridgerton recently, and that was a topic of, it's the same thing, like back in the old times or whatever, and they had to make the decision.
Yeah.
So I figured like for sure it was going to happen, and it did. So I wasn't really surprised by that at all.
I kind of was, just because, I mean, I wasn't really, I was thinking more just like, oh, so they're going to introduce the son. Like, what's going to happen with the son?
Yeah, that part did surprise me when it's like all of a sudden there's two bodies and I'm like, oh, geez.
Yeah. So, I remember that part. I was like, the Grand Maester came over to the king and was like, so we got to make a difficult decision here. And I looked at Kenzie and I was like, wow, I'm really glad that we have like modern medicine. Because today that's just like, oh, okay, so we're going to have to do a C-section. Like, it's okay. We're just going to do this surgery that we do like every day.
Yeah, very, very thankful we're not in the old times.
Right. I think about that every time somebody's like, if you could time travel to whenever, I'm like, it would be cool to experience, but I definitely want to come back.
I would really like to see more on the side of like, I mean, yeah, How to Train Your Dragon, how they like actually bond and do that with the dragon. Because I feel like we've never really seen that too much. I mean, I guess with like Khaleesi, because she like raised them, but it's still, I don't know. I feel like they kind of skipped a bunch in, well, maybe not. I don't know. I just feel like we haven't seen too much.
They skipped a bunch. You're not right.
We haven't seen too much interaction on how that like bond really occurs.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I could see them like leaving it up to just it's because they're the Targaryens.
But yeah, I would say in general, I am pretty excited about this show. I do feel like it has I know I gave it the lowest rating, but like out of all the shows that have recently come out, it's the one I hate the least.
What a positive look.
Wow. What a glass half full kind of guy.
Name a show, a TV show that's come out recently that was like good.
Abbott Elementary. Have you seen that?
I have not. What is that on?
Very good. We watched on Hulu. I don't know where it actually comes out on, but
is that like a recent, like a new show?
It's a sitcom. Yeah, it's very good.
Dude, why didn't you tell me about this?
Only Murders in the Building.
Oh yes, Only Murders is excellent. That's on Hulu.
Stranger Things.
Westworld.
Are you still watching Westworld?
You still watch Westworld?
Season 4 is actually very good. Season 3 I wasn't too hyped on, and
really?
then someone recommended season 4 to me, and it's pretty interesting.
I think I like started season 3 and I watched the first couple episodes, and it just was weird, and they were just going around killing everybody.
Yeah. Season 3 was not that good to me, but I'm enjoying season 4. So
Cassie stopped midway through season 2. But Stranger Things was good. I meant more something that's like original, but I haven't heard of this sitcom Abbott Elementary. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Abbott Elementary.
Have you seen Severance?
Oh, Severance is so good.
Yes.
We just finished C on Apple, and so Severance is like, I think we're going to watch For All Mankind next.
Bro, how do you watch C before you watch Severance?
I don't know. I just was watching the stuff. It was the next thing that came on after Ted Lasso. So I was like, all right, I guess we're watching this now.
Well, that's one way to do it.
Ted Lasso is incredible. Didn't you just watch that?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like stuff that's coming out, like brand new stuff like this year.
Isn't Ted Lasso have a season coming out soon?
I don't know, but
I
like
hope
new
so.
I don't think series. So. Like this is a new series.
I still have hope. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched any of those shows because like pretty much after Mandalorian, I was like, okay, if this is going to be the quality, I'm out.
Yeah, I should have done that, but I didn't.
I've watched. There's another episode of She-Hulk out. Now that I remember, I've watched the first episode, And I'll
Oh,
probably watch the rest of them.
I've heard that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that's not
like
bad.
That's like a sitcom, right?
Yeah, kinda. There's a couple like obviously I've only seen the first episode, but there's a couple like fourth wall breaks that are kind of weird. I can't tell if I like that or not. But yeah, I mean it's been good so far, so you can tell that we haven't recorded a podcast in a while because we keep talking about there's other shows that we've been watching.
True. Although I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's not too much to talk about. Like, it was enjoyable. I don't think there's anything like crazy significant that I was like, oh, I need to talk about this.
Right.
I think it was pretty typical, like, pilot. I don't know. Not too crazy, kind of sets the scene.
Yeah, lots of setup.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, I think a lot of the characters are really good. I think they did a really good job casting. Yeah, I don't really have too many complaints. I did start. So I started watching it with April because she was like, oh, because she hasn't seen Game of Thrones. I watched that without her, and she was like, oh, I like this, and I'm like, I don't know. They don't really hold their punches on anything. Like, you're gonna see it all. And she, like, we started watching it and she was enjoying it, and then the scene where the guy like gets his face like smashed with a machete or whatever it was, she was like, nope, can't do it. Like, she was like getting nauseous, and like she's like, I can't do this. So we learned that she doesn't like pretty gory stuff. So
poor April.
Yeah, it was a learning experience.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to talk about, and it's like kind of related to the show, but it's also like more broadly speaking. Like this show's coming out like very close, like in relation to like the Lord of the Rings show that's coming out. Do you think that was on purpose by either of the studios?
Oh, for sure. Well, maybe not like coming out like weeks after one another, but like, I mean, it's very clear that Amazon wants a Game of Thrones type show. Like, they're really trying. Like, they tried with what was that one called? It's very like sci-fi.
Expanse?
No, the something with time. The Wheel of Time, is that what it's called?
Oh,
like they marketed the crap out of that. They were trying to make it like the next Game of Thrones, and then I guess it wasn't good. I don't know. I haven't really heard anything about it.
It sucked.
Really?
Okay.
I stopped midway through the season. Yeah,
so there you go. So they're just like, I think they're just throwing their money at whatever they can and hoping that they get a Game of Thrones thing. So
yeah, which, I mean, they have thrown a ton of money at this Lord of the Rings thing.
Dude, I'm excited for it. I don't know. I'm pretty excited for it.
I think visually it's going to be like the best Lord of the Rings content we've ever had, but I am not excited for this at all.
Well, interesting.
Because
why?
You don't think it'll live up to the movies/books?
They are taking a lot of liberties when it comes to the books. There's a lot of stuff that they are like changing.
You're one of those people.
Here's the thing. If you are going to spend the money to like bring that to life and tell a different story, like make your own story. Like, you don't have to like copy like, or just pay for the like naming rights just so people will watch your show. It's just so different than like the books. And it's like, it's almost a completely different show.
I think you kind of do though. Like at this point with these big names, I mean, I don't know. I think Game of Thrones aired in kind of a different era or like it started in a different era and then the show was good. So word got around, but anymore, I don't know. I mean, I guess Severance came out and that's like, you know, that's an example of an original show. At least as far as I know, it's pretty much completely original. Like, it's not based on anything. They didn't need to license anything for it. But other than that, it's hard to get a I think what we said,
Original
what
IP.
Amazon is looking for, the next Game of Thrones. I don't know if they can do that with just creating a story themselves. I think it's going to have to be at least kind. And in fairness, that's kind of what the House of the Dragon is doing. Is we want to make, yes, it's in the Game of Thrones universe, so automatically people who watched and liked Game of Thrones are going to be interested. So this Lord of the Rings thing, it's in the Lord of the Rings universe, so the people who watched and were interested in that are at least going to check it out more than just, oh, everybody watched the newest fantasy epic on Amazon Prime. I think that's a harder sell, and that's not what Amazon wanted.
Yeah, I agree. I think they wanted immediate tons of viewership, and I don't even think that happened with the original Game of Thrones, right? Didn't it take a couple seasons to really pop off?
Season 3 is when it really caught on.
Yeah. So that's I don't think. I think executives would rather just pay the money up front for an already established IP that they can just immediately have a fan base for than start creating something new.
That's fine, but there's a reason that IP is so popular, right? And then they purposefully chose to write it in a period where there's not a whole lot of history. So Lord of the Rings is set up in different ages, and so they purchased the rights to the second age, but they're compressing time in a really weird way to have story arcs that are happening in different ages happen in the second age. And honestly, I don't see how they're not going to get sued by the Tolkien estate for only purchasing the rights, because that's to that second age, and taking a lot of inspiration from the other ages. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But they're just changing a lot of the characters and adding a bunch of new ones. Granted, if that's what you wanted to do because it's the second age and there's nothing written, but I feel like they're going to drastically change everything. And I don't know. I have zero hope for this show.
Jeez.
I think what's happening here is a situation Thor, whatever the newest Thor was. What was the name of that?
Love and Thunder.
Ragnarok. Yeah, Love and Thunder. I saw Thor: Love and Thunder. I enjoyed it because my threshold for laughing at things is very low. I understand intellectually that it is not as good of a movie as basically almost all the other Thors outside of Thor: The Dark World. It's not an amazing Marvel movie. A lot of the jokes were kind of I could see why people say, oh, it's too jokey, it's too whatever. But I had a friend who's super into the comics, and we were kind of talking about it. He's like, oh, it's a great movie because it's completely it's the most accurate to the comics. And we were all like, okay, but that's not what we don't care about it being accurate to the comics. We care about it being an interesting movie. And I think that's what's happening with this Lord of the Rings thing is people it's kind of the opposite, where people say it's a terrible show because they're ruining the IP and they're none of this makes sense within the world of Lord of the Rings. And everybody else is saying, this is a cool show because it has characters that I've heard of and that I like, and they're going on fun adventures. So I don't know. I could see the gamble that they're going with on displeasing the hardest core fans who are doing the the research and the taking the time to figure out, okay, when in the books is this set? What age are we dealing with? And do these characters look how they're supposed to look? I think they're taking the gamble of upsetting those people, but making something that's broadly appealing enough where it doesn't matter. I think at this, it is still kind of a gamble because that's happened before where they've said, oh, we just want to make something that is good. We don't really care about the source material. And I think they care somewhat about the source material. But like you've seen it with, I never actually saw it, but Aragon, like the movie, that came out when we were kids, I heard was just an awful movie. Same with...
It's funny you say that because I love that movie.
I'm sure kids loved the movie when it came out, but like people who read the books, same with like the Golden Compass, I heard people really didn't like, and like critically it did terribly because I think they went too far away from the IP and just said, oh, we're going to make a cool story, and it didn't make sense, and they didn't really have a plan. So I hear what you're saying, Brandon, but I'm interested. I still have some hope because I'm interested enough in the possibility of what they could do outside of just staying completely exactly what the books did.
I'm not like a purist. Like, I don't need the thing to be exactly like. I really enjoyed, obviously, Lord of the Rings, like most people did, but it's like the Tolkien estate hates the Peter Jackson films, like, because they say it deviates too much from the books, and it deviates quite a bit. But the Peter Jackson films stay true to like the overall themes, and I just don't see, from everything that Prime has given us, I don't see that happening.
Okay. Well, then maybe this will be a Golden Compass situation.
I hope I'm wrong. I really do.
Watch, it's going to come out and it's just going to be exactly like the books.
Imagine.
It's just going to be all the characters reading from the books. That would be funny.
That would be funny.
Cool. Well, I mean, do we have anything else to say about House of the Dragon? We're all generally excited about the next episode.
Yeah.
I am. I'm excited to see where it goes. I kind of want to see. I hope they make another one too. That's like out in the future, so we don't know anything about anything. Although I guess if we're being honest, I don't remember any of the history of Targaryens anyway, so it'll be new to me. But
yeah, I remember like when I think it was when season 8 was coming out, and you were finding out. Spoiler alert! Why are you listening to this if you haven't already seen Game of Thrones and House of Dragon? But that like Jon Snow is technically a Targaryen, and all this stuff that I vaguely remember like kind of putting it together, and like I think that makes sense, and maybe having all the characters, like remembering all the characters, but mostly it was just kind of like, yeah, he's a Targaryen because that's how it is.
Same,
you know?
Same, literally same. I was like, I didn't even. It took me a while to even understand what was happening because they just start talking about the names of people, and I'm like, bro, I don't remember these people. And so finally, when they were like, "Oh, that means you're a Targaryen," I was like, "Oh, now I get it."
Yeah. Is there anything? Does anybody have any predictions?
That's a good question.
I feel like I don't know enough about like the Game of Thrones universe to really have like I don't know enough of the players of the universe to really have a solid prediction about like, oh, I think this is gonna happen. But
I mean, I think Matt Smith is gonna kill the king. I think that's gonna happen. Hot take, but I'm ready for it.
You think he's gonna kill the king?
I don't think so.
No, I mean that would just send power straight to the princess. I mean,
right, and he's in good with her. They're good pals.
That's true. So, I don't know.
Mean, what do you think that? I mean, I don't know. It's not my guess is he's going to make a play to be her husband. Is my guess.
Wait, what?
The Targaryens intermarry all the time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I just figured if he killed him soon, then she becomes queen, and he's really the only one that she's like in good terms with. It seems out of all the like advisors. So it makes sense that he'd immediately become the right hand.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
My guess is he's gonna die from that thing that was on his back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah,
That's
he's-
true. I forgot about that.
the king's definitely not going to stick
That
around
thing was
for forever.
nasty.
Princess Ryan. I don't know how to say that name.
Rhaenys Valerion. Is she the?
Was she the queen that was not, or something like that?
Yes, I think so. The queen that never was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she's going to play a pretty big role, but I feel like it's almost too obvious that she would side with like Millie. And I feel like it might be like a plot twist where she's like siding with Matt Smith.
Wait, why would she side with Rhaenyra? I feel like they haven't really had any interaction.
Because she was supposed to be queen and she didn't because
if anything,
she was
that
a
makes
woman.
me think she hates Rhaenyra more. That's the way I thought about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's just as related to like the current king, and she was not picked because she was a woman, so she would probably want the next king or queen to be a woman. That's my guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see because the way that she was played, I don't know if it's going to be like. To me, it seemed like she just kind of wasn't interested in the throne. It was just kind of like, yeah, I mean, I'm here. Like she was still around, so obviously it's like, I mean, if she did have a feud or like if she was really angry about it, she was hiding it. So I could kind of see it being her ending up being kind of like the motherly figure almost, or like advisor, like, I'm too old for this, but here's what you should probably do. Or I could see it being like, who was that?
Like she makes a play for the throne.
Kind of. Who is in Game of Thrones? I can't remember her name. Natalie Dormer was married. Well, like, what family was she from? What was her name in the show?
I don't know who Natalie Dormer is.
Great.
Yeah, she's the one who died in the big fireball in the court. She was like,
She was.
she was making a play for the throne.
That
She
family.
she married the young
Rose
kid.
people,
yeah.
Yeah.
Common.
I forget that the Tyrell, yeah, House Tyrell.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could see it being her being kind of like that, where they're just kind of sitting back, slowly letting them, like, getting themselves close to power, and then when the opportunity presents itself, going for it. I could see that happening.
I got the feeling that she
her.
was salty about it. That's like I
Yeah,
thought they
that's kinda
portrayed
what I
her
got.
as salty that she wasn't queen. And then when they announced Rhaenyra as like the princess or whatever, the heir, I thought they panned to her real quick and she looked pretty salty. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I might have missed it, but those are my predictions.
I like it. We'll see. We'll have to see. I hope
Plot
there's
twist.
some. I
I
hope
think
there is some
the,
big plot twist though.
I think the heir for the day is going to come back as a White Walker.
Oh.
That was just a joke. I don't actually think that.
Wait, haven't you read some of these books, Brandon?
No, I haven't read any of the books that the House of the Dragon is based off of.
I was gonna say.
I was like,
interesting, and then I thought about it for a second. I was like, there's no way that could happen.
No, Fire and Blood, I think, is what it's based off of, and I haven't read any of the prequel books yet. I have no clue how accurate the shows is.
Great. Well, is that it? Is that it? Or
I think that's everything.
Yeah, I don't got anything. I think. Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh yeah, what we're watching?
Sure.
I guess Davis and I listed off a bunch of stuff. Right?
Yeah, we've been. I mean, to add to
That
the
was
stuff,
like kind of the whole episode, right?
it was pretty much
Yeah.
just what we've been watching, what we have watched. We're watching The Great right now, So
Oh, that is such a good show. I love that show so much.
yeah, I mean, we're only, I think, 4 or 5 episodes in, but it's good.
Yeah, we just watched Only Murders. That just the finale just aired, and such a good show. And the cameo at the end of season 2, I'm excited for season 3. So
yeah, that'll be good.
We just finished C. We also were watching. It was an Apple original. It was about Hurricane Katrina. I think it was like Memorial Hospital or something like that. So it's not a documentary, but it's like a reenactment of like real events or whatever.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty insane. Because I don't really remember a whole lot about Katrina. Like, I remember it being bad. That's about it.
Yeah, well, we were pretty young, I feel like, when did that happen?
Don't know.
I don't know, like 08, or did I make that up?
I feel like that was too late.
2005.
Okay.
So we were like 9.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's really interesting to see how it was handled, like politically and all that stuff. And I'm assuming there are some liberties that the show takes, but it's still pretty interesting.
Hey, you guys are really on an Apple TV's spree.
Trying to get through everything so that way I can cancel it.
There you go. Yeah, I've only seen from Apple TV. All I've seen is, what is it? Severance, After Party. Not that. Ted Lasso. Duh. That's it. I feel like, is he good? Is it worth watching? Because I know right now you can watch the first season for free, but I've never heard anyone be like, Kyle, you should watch this show.
I've heard it's really cool.
The world building is better than the show, if that makes any sense.
I makes it sound like, Kyle, you probably aren't gonna like it that much.
I did kind of. I mean, that still sounds cool to me, but I did kind of get that vibe of just like, like that it's a really cool concept. I don't know how well it was executed. I mean, I've still heard that it's a really good show, but
enjoyed it. I would have changed some things without getting too much into spoilers, like for that show. It kind of falls off season 2 as far as the quality, and I didn't realize it until I went back to show somebody episode 1, and I was like, oh wow, that is a big difference. It is fun, and the world building is really unique, and they definitely take time and consideration with the world building. I enjoy it. I'll probably watch season 3 when it comes out. Also, gripe with Apple Plus. If you can see what I have and haven't watched, please do not show me a trailer for season 3 of C when I'm watching season 2 of it. Thank you.
I think that happened to me.
Yeah, that's like all streaming services do that. Yeah, it is annoying. That definitely should not be a thing.
Yeah, especially when you're in the middle of you're in the middle of something where like, oh, will they make it out of this? Like, is this how this character dies? And then you see them in the new trailer, and you're like, oh, I guess they end up okay. So we're gonna say our name and what color dragon we would want to ride / have.
It's funny that that's your question, because like I was like, as I told you that means you're gonna ask the question. That's the first question I thought of, and I was like, nah, we can't ask that.
Wrecked. Get wrecked.
But I mean, I wasn't coming up with anything else, so that probably I would have defaulted to it anyway.
I mean, I can think of other questions, but I just don't know. I can't think of any questions that relate to the show.
Right, yeah, for sure. All right, my name's Kyle, and I'd ride a black dragon solely because of Toothless. So,
my name's Davis, and I'd ride a gray dragon because gray is cool, especially like gray, like a dragon-colored gray.
That's my favorite crayon color.
Dragon gray.
Dragon gray. My name is Brandon, and I would have a green dragon, like a Pete's Dragon green.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Be
Great.
beautiful.
I feel like they'd really see you coming.
As what are you doing with your dragon?
Dude, we're stealthing it, bro.
What do you got to stealth for?
Yeah,
Who are you attacking?
You are on a dragon. I feel like it's
Bro,
already.
What happened to the dragons between now and Game of Thrones? There ain't no more dragons.
Dude, this.
I'm just saying, I'm keeping mine alive.
All right. Well, I feel like I'm in kind of a good situation with the gray dragon.
No, you're great. Yeah, you can hide in the clouds.
Dude,
I'm flying low. That's my goal.
When I'm in the forest, you can't even see me.
Oh, right. You're flying all over the place in the forest.
We didn't say how big it was.
True.
We both have these massive dragons, and Brandon
I just have a
around.
tiny one.
It's like in How to Train Your Dragon when he has the dragon with the tiny wings that like flaps.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, everybody. Bye.
Peace out.